Hello everyone and welcome to Train Talk. Amtrak, America's national passenger rail corporation, operates many different intercity and long-distance passenger train services all across the continental United States. In a previous episode of Train Talk, we looked at the western half of Amtrak's long-distance train system. These are trains that generally travel over 750 miles and connect larger cities with smaller towns in rural areas. In many cases, these towns do not have easy access to other modes of public transportation. In this episode of Train Talk, we will finish our look at the long-distance Amtrak trains, examining every route east of the Mississippi River. Like last time, I will briefly talk about the geography of each route as well as some scenic highlights. We'll also discuss typical train consist information. For those of you who don't already know, a consist is a list of cars and locomotives that make up a train. For the long-distance routes in the western part of the country, trains usually consist of two P-42 DC locomotives and several double-decker superliner passenger cars in the form of coaches, sleepers, dining cars, and sightseer lounge cars. In the eastern half of the country, however, only 3 of the long-distance trains have superliner cars. The rest have a mix of viewliner dining, sleeping, and baggage cars, and Amfleet coach and cafe cars. Alright. With that out of the way, let's dive right in. Traveling in between New Orleans, Louisiana and New York City, New York, Amtrak's Crescent passes right through the heart of the southern USA. The Crescent operates daily as train 19 southbound and 20 northbound. It was previously operated by the Southern Railway over much of the same route. This train connects the major cities of New Orleans, Louisiana, Birmingham, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and New York City. On its journey, the train passes through the forests of the southeastern coastal plain and along the eastern edge of the Appalachian Mountains, traveling through the states of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. The train consist is typically one viewliner baggage car, 2 viewliner sleeping cars, a viewliner dining car, an Amfleet cafe car, and several Amfleet coach cars. 2 P-42 DC locomotives typically pull the train from New Orleans to Washington, D.C. Between Washington and New York City, the Crescent travels along Amtrak's electrified Northeast Corridor and is pulled by an ACS-64 electric locomotive. The route is 1,377 miles in length and the trip takes about 30 hours. From Washington, D.C. to Chicago, Illinois, the Capital Limited crosses the Appalachian Mountains and along the southern edge of the Great Lakes. This train operates daily in each direction as Train 29 westbound and Train 30 eastbound. The Capital Limited takes its name and a large portion of its route from a train that was once operated by the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. Major cities served by this train include Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Cleveland, Ohio, and Toledo, Ohio. The train passes through some places that are rich in American history, including the town of Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, and the fall line town of Cumberland, Maryland. Along the way, the train passes through the states of Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. Unlike most other eastern long-distance trains, the Capital Limited utilizes Amtrak's bi-level superliner passenger cars, and consists typically include a baggage car, a few sleeping cars, a diner, a sightseer lounge, and a couple of coaches. P-42 DC locomotives pull the train. The route is 780 miles in length and the scheduled trip time is 18 hours. The Lakeshore Limited is another train that connects the Midwest to the Northeast. Trains travel along the southern shore of the Great Lakes from Chicago to New York, passing through Toledo, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Buffalo, New York, and Albany. At Albany, the train breaks into 2 sections, with the majority of the train continuing south right along the Hudson River to New York. A smaller section continues east to Boston, Massachusetts. From New York to Chicago, the train runs daily with train numbers 49 westbound and 48 eastbound. From Boston to Albany, the train operates as 449 westbound and 448 eastbound. The original Lakeshore Limited was operated by the New York Central Railroad over much of the same route. Train consists include a baggage car, Amfleet coach cars, an Amfleet cafe, a viewliner dining car, and 3 viewliner sleepers. Two P-42s pull the train over the entire route with the exception of Albany to New York City, which is handled by a single dual-mode P-32 AC/DM locomotive. The route is 141 miles long from New York to Albany, 818 miles from Albany to Chicago, and 200 miles long from Boston to Albany. Trip times are 3 hours from New York to Albany, 16 from Albany to Chicago, and 5 hours from Boston to Albany. Amtrak's Cardinal cuts right through the middle of Appalachia as it travels from Chicago to New York City. Other major cities served by this train are Indianapolis, Indiana, Cincinnati, Ohio, Charleston, West Virginia, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. During its journey, the Cardinal passes through the states of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Virginia, along with several northeastern states on the way to New York. The train runs 3 days a week in each direction as train 50 eastbound and 51 westbound. This train was given the name Cardinal because the cardinal is the state bird of the 6 major states the train passes through. Previous railroads to operate passenger trains along this route were the Chesapeake in Ohio and the New York Central. The scenic highlight of this trip is the beautiful New River Gorge in West Virginia. Trains consist of a P-42 locomotive, Amfleet coaches, an Amfleet cafe, a Viewliner sleeper, and a Viewliner baggage car. From Washington, D.C. to New York City, the train is pulled by an ACS-64 locomotive. The route is 1,147 miles long, and the trip takes about 26 hours. One of the most unique trains in Amtrak's entire system is the Auto Train, traveling from Sanford, Florida on the northern outskirts of Orlando to Lorton, Virginia, a short 15 miles from Washington, D.C. Auto Train is the only major non-stop train currently running in Amtrak's system, and it allows riders the unique ability to bring a personal vehicle on board with them on their journey. The train runs daily in each direction as train 52 northbound and 53 southbound. Amtrak took over this service in the 1980s from a privately run company called Auto Train Corporation. On its journey, the Auto Train passes through northern Florida and straight along the east coast of the United States through Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. Like the Capital Limited, the Auto Train also uses bi-level superliner equipment. Consist size can vary by time of year, but the train can include as many as 18 superliner sleepers, coaches, dining cars, and lounge cars, and sometimes over 30 vehicle-carrying auto-rack cars, making the Auto Train one of the world's longest passenger trains. The train is usually pulled by 2 P-40 DC locomotives. From end to end, the trip is 855 miles long with a travel time of 17 hours. For a more in-depth look, be sure to check out my video about the Auto Train that I made in the spring of 2019. The city of New Orleans travels right along the Mississippi River from Chicago, Illinois to New Orleans, Louisiana, passing by the farmland of Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi, and through the bayous of Louisiana. It operates daily in each direction, running as train 58 northbound and 59 southbound. The train takes its name and most of its route from the original City of New Orleans train that was operated by the Illinois Central Railroad. Major cities served by this train besides the endpoints include Champaign, Illinois, Carbondale, Illinois, Memphis, Tennessee, and Jackson, Mississippi. This is the third and final train in the eastern United States to use superliner double-deck passenger cars. The consist for this train is usually one P-42 DC locomotive, 2 sleeping cars, a dining car, a lounge car, and 3 more coaches. Total route length is 934 miles and travel time from end to end is 19 hours. Our last 2 long-distance Amtrak trains in the eastern United States travel between Miami, Florida and New York City and are branded as Amtrak Silver Service. They are the Silver Star and the Silver Meteor. Both of these trains trace their names and routes back to the Seaboard Airline Railroad. The Silver Star operates as train 91 southbound and 92 northbound, while the Silver Meteor operates as train 97 southbound and train 98 northbound. Major cities served by one or both of these trains include Miami, West Palm Beach, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, Savannah, Georgia, Columbia, South Carolina, Florence, South Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, Fredericksburg, Virginia, and Washington, D.C., as well as several major cities along Amtrak's northeast corridor between Washington and New York. For most of the trip, these trains run along the same rail line with just two exceptions. The first, when traveling northbound out of Miami, occurs just north of Winter Haven, Florida, where the Silver Star makes a side trip across to Florida's west coast for a station stop at Tampa, while the Silver Meteor continues on north to Orlando. The next divergence occurs at Savannah, Georgia. Here, the Silver Meteor continues to the northeast, closer to the coast on the same route taken by the Auto train. The Silver Star, on the other hand, heads due north as it passes right through the middle of South Carolina before turning to the northeast and heading for Raleigh, North Carolina. The routes come back together in Selma, North Carolina, continuing through the rest of North Carolina, Virginia, and into Washington, D.C. before traveling up Amtrak's northeast corridor to New York City. Consists for these two trains are quite similar. They both use single-level Viewliner and Amfleet cars. The Silver Star typically has one P42 DC locomotive, 4 Amfleet coaches, an Amfleet Cafe, 2 Viewliner sleepers, and a Viewliner baggage car, while the Silver Meteor has 2 P42 locomotives, 4 Amfleet coach cars, an Amfleet Cafe, a Viewliner diner, 3 Viewliner sleepers, and a Viewliner baggage car. From Washington, D.C. to New York City, both trains are pulled by an ACS-64 electric locomotive. The Silver Star travels a total of 1,522 miles on its journey from Miami to New York, while the Silver Meteor travels a total of 1,389 miles. Travel times from end to end are 31 hours for the Silver Star and 27 hours for the Silver Meteor. Well, that completes our look at Amtrak's long-distance passenger train system. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't seen my train talk on the Western long-distance trains, be sure to take a look at that as well. Stop by the first Friday of most months for a brand new episode of Train Talk. If you haven't already, you're welcome to subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to receive all notifications of my latest posts and videos to the YouTube channel. And remember, you can always stop by every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time for a brand new railroading adventure. Until next time, I'm Mike Armstrong. I'll see you down the line. Thanks for watching.